audience.
Wow, live on you for real.
Man.
Another day here.
Another day, man. Good to see you all, man.
Yes, sir. Wayne, good to see you back at
Be more for real, be more for real,
be more for real podcast. We the realest. We got the realest conversation on the planet, man. Like, I mean,
real conversation.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah.
Listen, let me explain something. Before we even get started, it's like, do we say a prayer or do we get a solid moment in time of all of these shooting, murdering, killing, domestic violence, and everything else? Let's take a moment out. We can't force anyone to pray, but we got to take a moment at least for the respect.
Let's do it.
Let's take a moment out. You know what I'm saying?
Be more for real.
Let's go. Quick moment of silence. Quick moment of silence. Be more for real. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook.
Subscribe today, y'all, and follow us. And we need those comments today because we got some topics we got to talk about. We need your response. We need to know what you think because we definitely going to tell you what we think.
Realest podcast on the planet. And without further ado,
Be more for real.
Without further ado, let's get into it.
Where we going at first?
Let's get started. Let's start. This 4th of July celebration. Now, we in Baltimore. And we got the highest, one of the gun rate just out of control. But yet everyone loves fireworks. I'm a little bit confused on that. Pop, pop, pop.
I think that's the funny thing about us. I feel like we have to feed that side of us. Like, you know what I mean? Like we know it's the other side to where all that come from. The attraction to the bang and you know what I mean, the loud noise. Because you remember quarter sticks, you know what I mean, like quarter sticks, dynamite for real. Mm-hmm. Look, 3, 4 to 5 car alarms go off and all that. We still blow your whole hand off. We playing real dynamite.
Infatuated with it.
Roman candles,
all of that. Yeah. I remember shooting them out the window, driving like just reckless. Driving the shit, so
all it's like the time. But when you get older, my age, 60, to remind you, we're not feeling it anymore.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Can't jump down to the floor. Can't hit down no more because it's hard to get back up.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not. And I have 8 dogs. You ready for this? They
don't like the noise.
My goodness, I can't send them outside. They try to kill themselves to get back inside. So the fireworks was one thing. But the actual shooting was another, y'all. And as black men, we up here, it has got to come to a stop. It has got to. We've got to stop handling our issues with a weapon.
Right.
Yeah, that conversation
has to be had.
That conversation is endless because of, like, it's like, where's the solution at this point? You know what I'm saying? It's like more of, we know that we saying major death. You know what I'm saying? Kids are being subject to traumatic experiences through gunplay. Not only that, they actually, how often now do we hear a child getting shot? You know what I'm saying? Getting hit in the crossfire and all of that. But it's like, when does it hit home to us? Like, hey, man, listen. At one point in time, and I'm gonna be I'm a realist because I'm a realist because. Sometimes you sign up to play that game, right?
Right.
Everybody, you know what you sign up for, but at the same time, there's rules of engagement. It used to be a time. Now I'm not. Now I want to be very clear. I'm not promoting unaliving a person. Is that what you're supposed to say now? Right. I'm not promoting that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if that's where it goes, why are you not going to the source of the problem? You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of casualties out here, and that's when it hits home. You know what I'm saying? Like that situation, like there is no reason for 30 people to be shot at a block party like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like that's gangster. That's hood now. That's like, is that really? That's what you consider being.
And we try to figure out.
You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't respect it. I don't respect that.
How can you respect anyone who disturbs our family, our village with no respect? You can't get respect when you're not respecting us. But I'm 60. Once again, you hold our men accountable. Where we have no supervision of anything. That's why it's so out of control. So when the teenagers come, you see playing with guns.
Yeah.
like you say, your famous thing, there are no rules and regulations.
Ain't no rules.
Right.
Right. It's just, we're going to do whatever. If I'm getting an argument, I don't like you, instead of me throwing them dukes up, you know what I mean? I'm going to shoot to kill. And this is the thing about it. You don't know how to shoot. You shoot everybody else but the intended target.
What you say we need a code.
We need a code.
Yeah, but there's no code.
And that's what I was stressing too. And I can't stress it enough about our community. We have no code. And if I were to elaborate further, I would say we have no code of conduct on how we conduct ourselves. It's like we can come out any type of way and can't nobody say anything about the way that we choose to come out and present ourselves to people. It's like everybody got their own truths, and I think the older generation started with that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that is the root of why people act the way they do, because everybody feel like they got their own truth and they right in their own right. And I mean, to a degree, you are, because don't get me wrong, nobody can walk a mile in your shoes.
Personally,
but there's still yet a standard. People don't want to be compared to anything. How can we know if we're better than something without being compared to anything? And see, the thing is, we don't want to be compared to nothing. We say, look at how the white people, look at how the other ethnicities run their families and run their households. And when people bring up those talking points, it's like, well, you're trying to be like them. You're trying to be like them. Like, no, we're not trying to be like them.
Why is that
but we want the same thing.
But you're right.
We want the same thing. And see, that's what I think we're missing. We're missing actually talking about the things that really matter and bringing that to the forefront, because the stuff that really matter and bring to the forefront is taboo to talk about now. Like, we just can't talk about that out of fear of stepping on somebody's toes.
And
you're missing accountability too, bro. Like, it used to be a time, not to cut you,
no. Go ahead.
Wayne, but I know you remember. It'll be a time where a situation like that, if it was if it was a situation like that where even a young boy made a move, and the way the heat is on that area right now, somebody around there, money is slowing down in some form of fashion.
Right.
A lot of it.
So,
you feel me? Because now you brought bodies into the situation. It'd be a time where somebody take you and drop you off. You feel what I'm saying? You going to have to take that L, because
we know.
You know what I'm saying?
See, this situation gets a little deeper when we go back to that shooting and all too. We can resolve our own issues with the crime that we have in our. We really could, if we were able to. If we had our own rules and regulations, policies, and procedures, we could get it done. Yeah. But we can't get it done living off of their way. It's impossible.
You know what, too, Uncle Wayne? You say something that people should think, people should know is prophetic, right? And as we get better with this podcasting thing, man, we're going to bring up these clips, right? So, look, check this out. Uncle Wayne said, look, people be shooting. There's no code, right? Like I already said, but people be shooting code. And they shoot in crowds, and they don't even get the intended target that they're trying to hit. So that's important. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's important. Like, that's why having a code is so important. If you don't know that shooting in a crowd of people, of innocent people, just to get your perpetrator is wrong, then you have some moral training that has to be done. And a lot of times they do start at home. We can't expect the teachers and all of them to teach us hospitality and teach us how to conduct and carry ourselves while we're in civilization. We have to realize that we are the people who made civilization, and a lot of the world looks at us, specifically African Americans, and they copy our culture. Look at the rap and how it's infiltrated the world. Look at the style. We setting precedents for the world, and what example are we setting for the world? Just killing and making music about each other
for ourselves.
Look, I bet you of a fact they still not really making music talking about killing one another in their freaking music. That's ridiculous. What do you expect to get out of that? And this is why I like the Bible so much. I know people hate the Bible, but look, the Bible say that the Bible say the Bible. Look, I know some people, a lot of people do, but the Bible say, look, that what your man soweth, the same also shall he reap. Yeah. So how can we continue to sow death and all this degrading of women and men and people that's broke into our community and expect anything good to come out of that?
Remember, you either living under the curse or you're living under the blessing.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of people look at what they really get twisted about reading the Bible, they looking at the religious, the
they
religious
get caught up.
cult, you know what I mean, of it, aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not it. We talking about learning how to look at those words on that page and realize there's a moral and a code system. Even if you just go by the morals and the code, they apply anywhere. So the same way I'm gonna talk life and death and the power, in the power of the tongue. We always like to talk about that from, if I say something negative, usually that's where your mind goes. Don't speak negative into it. The same thing. You can speak life into it too.
That's what we gotta do.
It hold the same power. So most of them scriptures that's strong like that, you have to put them in reverse. If you reverse them, you could see how
I like that.
Church has systematically used it to a certain aspect.
And
but
so
you know, we're not talking church. We're talking about understanding of morals and
church, religion, and white all done the same thing. They use the Bible as a weapon tool for their own.
Been weaponized.
So to work for them.
But and see, and people don't understand that. They say, look, the Bible got all this stuff in there and it's been weaponized against us. Okay, well, hasn't the law been used in the same capacity with the Jim Crow and with all of their laws that they still pass with the crack laws and the 3 strike rules? And haven't the laws of this country been built and predicated on keeping black men incarcerated in masses and in droves?
Look at the marijuana. Look at the marijuana freedom now. Like for real. Like I know for a fact, you getting 10 pounds or better was a felony, a kingpin charge at one time.
Right.
Now, Joe Blow can go to school, get certified, and give you a license to say he's safely selling you marijuana.
But let's be real. Let's be real. What makes something illegal?
The fact that they don't.
Let's be more for real.
Their signature makes it legal
what makes something
or illegal.
Okay.
Their signature.
The fact that it's not taxed.
Legally, the fact that it's not taxed make something illegal. That's why and after something has already been taxed, to sell something is illegal as well, just like loose cigarettes and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already been taxed by the government. So that's what in fact makes it illegal. We got to understand the way that these things came in. I believe that we as black people need to get back to our roots. That's why they have roots. And they was telling you about Kunta Kinte and how Kunta Kinte had his name taken from him. He wasn't Kunta Kinte anymore. He was Toby. You talking about a people that don't have an identity for ourselves. Once we start to understand and identify who we are, we will have a lot more respect, especially for black men. The way that we talk about black men. Now, you could talk about black women, some people will stand up. You know what I'm saying? Black women are still attacked in this country, no doubt.
Always. Gotta stop.
But you talk about a black man.
We do it.
You talk about a black man specifically, but you talk about men, period. All of that stuff is acceptable. Men are dogs, men are trash. And I want to be careful about what I say because I don't want to get flagged and demonetized. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, we have to understand that black men, and specifically, we really made the railroad tracks, the steamboat engine, the commode, the toilet seat. We really made inventions. The peanut butter, all the botanicals, hair products was about a black woman, Madam C.J. Walker, the first black millionaire. Like, this is the history that we need to teach our people. Like, we invented everything in this country. And see, that would offend white people because now they know that their success was predicated off of our demise and off of our inferiority.
It's not something they don't know.
Off of really like survival skills.
You
know what I mean? Very resourceful.
So before Benjamin, let me give you a prime example. Before Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity, that they say discovered it. You see electricity in the sky all the time, but yet he discovered it. But however they say he discovered it, how do you think did he work with all that? Don't you think slaves were like extra people you could just work with and they were nothing? But yet they said one of the black was discovered a light bulb, but yet he discovered electricity. You see, because
black people discovered everything.
We had
everything.
We had no rights. We had no rights. Nothing. We had no rights whatsoever.
Man, that's another reason why we can't grow as a country, because when we start to face these unfavorable truths,
and
because the truth a lot of times make you feel uncomfortable. I'm glad you used that word. The truth is made to make you feel uncomfortable, because if you wasn't uncomfortable about your position, you would not change. But listen, nonetheless, black people have created everything. Even the computer chips. Look at it. Bill Gates was not the founder of this stuff.
On it, yeah.
No, they what?
Was a push
black people, stem cells, black people, houses, buildings, steamboat engines, cotton gin presses, the same things that we use today.
You know what, too, bro?
All created by black people.
We gotta stop having that caveman mentality.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand what that means. We heard it's like a term, but it really is a such thing as you can have somebody that's in a cave, been in a cave all their life. I could get out the cave, and I know it's outside. It's vegetation out there, bro. We can grow stuff. I've seen it. You know what I mean? But you've been in there. You don't want to take that step because you don't know what's out there. The unknowing, not knowing. I feel secure in this cave. I know how to survive in this cave. And almost to the point where a caveman mentality, he'll kill you before he come out of there.
Before he come
out of there, he gets so aggressive. He try to kill you before you can get him outside.
And that's exactly how we is. A lot of us now.
One second, Wayne. We want to acknowledge the comments. We want to acknowledge the viewers.
Absolutely.
My cousin commented on here. My cousin Rashawn, yeah, I hear you, cuz. I appreciate you for tuning in. We appreciate everybody that tuning in. Be sure you like, share, subscribe. I see a lot of y'all coming over from Facebook, but we want y'all to go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We are doing something major. We're working in the community. We're working with everyday people, everyday men, everyday black people. We're working with everyday small business people. We're working with everybody that's like-minded, no black or white. It's no lines defined on who is helping us. Right. But don't get it confused. We are about our people. We are being more for real about our situations and our circumstances. So we will definitely appreciate if you like, share, subscribe, comment, do everything that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? To support the channel because we're supporting the people. At the end of the day, this is about the people.
And there's one family. There's one family here too.
And y'all support is well needed and is well appreciated.
I think it's about time to bring.
Absolutely.
By you.
Well, hold on. Before we bring that in, I definitely want to acknowledge that you have an organization your own. We already been through this. DRM, you see the hat, you see the merch. Powerful man. Don't forget it, Dad Raising Men. And you can catch the DRM on the IG.
Definitely. D_R_M_ for life.
For real.
Please tap in. We are all one movement. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to be here. And speaking of that, for those who don't know, my name is Corey Smith. I'm one half of the DRM movement. You know what I'm saying? We are one of many, but I got a brother here today too. He about to step on. Powerful young dude. Definitely got a lot of respect for this man. You know what I'm saying? We walked that pavement together. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to introduce my man Vilo right now.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Welcome aboard, sir.
Brother Vilo. Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Sir. It's a pleasure, y'all. I've been waiting.
BMore4Real. Yes.
I was waiting to meet this guy.
They've been talking a lot about you, sir, and about your program and what you're doing.
Hold on. We're gonna thrust him into the fire. Somebody had a comment. This is another one of my cousins. This is one of my dead folks. You know what I'm saying? He said technically it's men and women that used to be girls and boys making opinions. The race varies. So technically it's men and women that used to be girls and boys, you know what I'm saying, making opinions. The race varies. So he's saying, I'm not sure. What I get from that is that the circumstances is not dependent upon races. The circumstances is contingent upon the individuals within that race. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to compartmentalize between the problems that we have, you know what I'm saying, in our race versus the problems in another race because it's not the same struggle. You know what I'm saying? So when we understand our individual struggle, we will understand how to work that struggle and work out of it. And I agree with that too. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I got this, it's not a theory or nothing like that. I just know that and practicality reasons that if you have a wound and you're hurt and you're bleeding from a wound that you choose not to address, you will bleed out. So you have to identify that specific wound where you're bleeding from and start the healing from that point on. You got to clean that thing out, whatever it may be, a stab wound, bullet wound, somebody punched you too hard, ruptured the skin or whatever, somebody nails too sharp and sliced you, whatever the case may be. If you don't identify the wound, then it will never be healed. What's your thoughts, big brother?
I believe
Sorry to be thrown in that question.
No, it's fine.
Part of the panel.
I feel like the number one thing that it would start with, just overall in all communities, is that we all have to have some form of compassion. If we don't have compassion, then we will never be able to see past our flaws as a community. We'll never be able to get to the next level.
Definitely
the problem
agree.
is we get so stuck on figuring out, we get so stuck on looking at what the next man is doing, what the next man not doing, except for besides being self-aware and taking accountability for our own actions.
Right.
You know, so I just feel like everything just come down to being compassionate for others. You know, be loving for others, and like you said, we don't really you may not understand somebody else's situation. You know, everybody's situation different.
Right.
I'll make a comment, but before we get there, tell us about you and your program.
Please do.
Before we get back into these
Brother
comments.
Vilo, he's going. Look, we always in the business of promoting black business. Always. We
Absolutely.
are always in the business of promoting black business, small business. It doesn't have to be black, but we specialize in black businesses. So if you have businesses and stuff like that, tune in with us, man. Like, share, subscribe. Go over to the YouTube, man. Come on, man. We got another person that's really doing something within the community that's really making a difference and people don't know about. So this is what this program is about as well, bringing awareness. Now you're gonna know what this brother does.
Man, where do I start, right? I do a whole lot, right? So I guess I'll just start by saying I am the other half of Dad's Raising Men, you know, so just being in the community, bringing a lot of families together and just trying to build up the foundations of the family, which is typically the fathers, you know. So we build up the fathers, we can build up better men. So that's the main objective with DRM. I'm also a member of the Youth Action Board. So basically with the Youth Action Board, we're under the continuum of care, which is basically federal. So we're not under like the state government, we're under the federal government. And basically what we do is we address youth homelessness. You know, so we basically try to figure out what it is that we can do in order to help youth that's going through, you know, homelessness. A lot of times people that's younger than the age of people that's younger than the age of 18, typically they can't get the resources that you can get when you're over 18, like food stamps, housing, you know, Medicaid, certain things. It may be a little tough.
And that's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, it's a lot, and people don't know what it
is
like.
A lot of them out there. It is a whole lot of them out there. You know what I'm saying? And see, the thing is, yo, we need houses. That's what we missing. That's what we missing. A lot of our youth. You know what I'm saying? We're missing equal housing. You know what I'm saying? A place in an environment where we can grow up and flourish. You know what I'm saying? It's like a flower. You know what I'm saying? When you plant it in the ground or whatever, you got it with the fertilizer. You know what I'm saying? We need stable housing in order to grow as people. And that is essential to life. So, I mean,
I'm glad you said equal housing, though.
Yeah,
that's very important.
Equal, because we know what there was redlining and stuff like that, which I won't interrupt you any longer. I just wanted to stress how important it was that you're getting young people housing and how
there's a lot of them out there.
That is one of the most essential things about survival is food, shelter, water. Those are the three major components. And when you're talking about shelter, that might be the most major out of all three. Really, it's not. All three of them needs to coexist simultaneously. We'll get into that later, but
definitely, yeah. So like a lot of people don't know what youth homelessness actually looks like. You know, it looks like the cousin that's been couch surfing, the cousin that's been at auntie house, that been at grandma's house, that you know you might see all the time. You might give them a couple dollars, or you know try to look out for them when you can. But you know, it's a lot of resources actually in Baltimore City, and it's a lot of funding. There's a lot of things out here that's not being made aware. You know, so my main objective on the Youth Action Board is actually making the youth actually aware of these actual resources that they can take advantage of, because it is a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
For the sake of the viewers too, I want to make sure they get your face. The camera, right here. The
camera right here, good brother. We work with this equipment, you gotta work with us.
Bear with us. The camera right here. We're gonna speak into the camera. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna build the plane as we flying, and I hope y'all don't have a problem with that. Also, please make sure y'all go follow us on the YouTube, man. Make sure y'all go follow us, like, share, subscribe, like the stream. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and share the stream. Let's do what we're supposed to do.
For sure. So I just also want to shout y'all out. I appreciate y'all having me on the platform.
Absolutely, we appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate what y'all doing with y'all platform as well, uplifting the community, uplifting the city. That's major.
Let me ask you something. Give me the rundown of your life. You at how old?
Right now I'm 24. I'm going on 25. This November I'll be hitting big 25.
You just didn't wake up and say, "Okay, I'm going to help with these programs." Give me
it just come down to purpose. Like God put a purpose in everybody's life, and it's up to you to fulfill it.
So,
yeah, that's just what it come down to. It's in you. I feel like God is in you. So we all got to build. We all got to grow. So that's my biggest thing.
That's deep.
But
before we get off,
hold on, family. One second.
Family. Don't forget your information.
We got family. We got comments and everybody. Yo, we really appreciate y'all, yo. I can't stress it enough. Comment as much as you need. Input as much as you need. Share as much as you need. We appreciate y'all. But also as well, we need y'all to follow the people that we're putting on so that the black businesses are being supported, right. That this platform is doing what it's supposed to do, that the small businesses, the black businesses, more importantly, because we are, look.
And they said we're not doing nothing for the city.
Exactly.
We doing
for us. We're doing for all the small businesses. It don't matter black or white. It really don't matter. If you got a small business, you're trying to get it off the ground, you in the city. If you're not in the city, if you can get in contact with us, look, we're going to put that out there. But we need y'all to put us out there so we can make sure we do our job by putting people out there. And this platform is for the people. So we're going to put our people out there. But nonetheless, make sure you follow this person right here, our brother Rallo. He's going to give you all his information.
Yes, get that to him.
Please. Yeah, for sure. You can follow me on Instagram at Vylo the Artist. That's VYLO the Artist. VYLO the Artist.
All right. So listen, thanks for joining us. What we're going to do, we're going to bring you back regularly. We want to see the progress of what you're doing. Also, we're going to respond to the people to see if you're responding back. Because when you say we don't help, we show you we help, and you don't help, you are the weakest link.
Big brother Lou, hopefully in the building.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
We're going to bring our brother on back.
We got some guests, man. We're going to keep it rolling, and we hope y'all will eventually be the guests as well. You know what I'm saying? We hope that y'all eventually be the guests. We bring
Let's thank my brother Rallo again.
Let's thank brother Rallo.
Now, you fill me in. You say he's half of it, so kind of connect the dots for us.
So, just how we linked up, we was working, man. You know what I'm saying? Overnights, man. Him just kind of we always chopped it up about purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because we always knew, like, man, there's always something bigger than what we doing. It's something bigger than a check. You know what I'm saying? I think I gave you the backstory with Dad's Raising Men. He intrigued me, honestly, because he was so young. He was speaking on different levels. Like, he was on a different type of time. You know what I'm saying? So I watched him. This man was like, I'm a DJ. I'm about to DJ. I watched him piece by piece. Get the equipment, teach yourself how to use the equipment. He was walking it down. You feel what I'm saying? He ain't know I'm watching him because we talking about what we want to do. And I told him, I was like, man, I got an idea. I want to get this off the ground. You know what I'm saying? Dad's Raising Men, because I really felt like it starts with us. You know what I'm saying? Taking back our home.
Yes, absolutely.
Bro said, I believe in it. Where and when. So that point on, we started going to different shopping centers. We was like handing out waters, like we put the bag behind it, put logos on, just trying to, like we said, we just trying to get people together.
He was determined.
Yeah, he was beside me the whole way coming, you know what I'm saying? And he never left, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, so with that's why I said he my brother. And the crazy thing is, I never, the same way this man became my brother, he became, that's why I said we one family.
That's it. That's how we got to do this.
We both had a passion for the push for unconditional love. Like, that was the motivation. Like, a lot of people don't understand that love is strength, not weakness. We was taught that it's such a weakness to love something. You feel what I'm saying?
Especially black men.
We gonna change the narrative on love and strength, not weakness.
That makes the difference.
But hold on. Can we talk about something real too, though? Absolutely. Like, because look, they say, show no love, love will get you killed. And to be honest, that applies in the street. I'm a man of practicality, right? This is the generation I grew up in. Right. You know what I'm saying? Showing too much love will get you what we call whack. Right. That will get you whack. Yeah, go ahead and be too friendly with these people if you want to. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't know how to stand your ground, man, you're going to get taken full advantage of. And that's a problem with our culture. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that we see kindness as weakness. And that's why they say, you know what I'm saying, the sayings that they say, which I don't even need to tell you the saying about kindness and weakness. We already know.
That's the thing.
We already know how the saying goes.
This is the misconception. This goes back to the concept of time and timing, right? We always talk about how time and timing, because the way that we think, we kind of put those words that we think they mean the same. We kind of fall into that by default. But if you look up the definition and you look at time and timing, that's two different things, that's right? So the same way that applies to that analogy, just because I love and I know that love is not a weakness, it also don't mean that my love for you mean that I'm sweet. I'm you know, because I'm
hold on. I'm sorry. Before we get off topic, we got a couple comments, and it's going to take us back and forth between topics. It's going to take us back and forth between topics. I'm sorry, cousin Ella. We're gonna do this. She said correct. Charlotte has a housing crisis. Remember we were talking about the housing crisis? We were talking about it with Brother Vilo. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I wanted to bring you in on before we got too sidetracked. And we're gonna do this often. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just flow. We just flow. But look, she said correct. Charlotte has a housing crisis for adults, so she can only imagine the kids and how their situation is going to be. So we are facing a housing crisis. I will also speak on that because I like to look at the facts and the data.
Fact.
How many people? Does anybody know how many people there are in America? Type it in the chat. How many total people there are in America? What's the rough estimate of the population of people in America? And I will show you something that people need to see, because a lot of people do not like numbers and statistics, but I'm going to show you how important numbers and statistics are even to us. And I'm going to start by saying this. Everything is associated with a number. And the reason why I like the Bible as well, too, is because the Bible has a whole book called Numbers. But as I digress, we're gonna see that everything is associated with a number, and the numbers will tell you everything. So if you look at the number in the population of the United States, the number of the population of the United States is 334,000. What? Matter of fact, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have y'all see this. This what we're gonna do. This what we're gonna do. Tell us in the chat how many people you think is in America. Tell us in the chat. We want to see some numbers. How many people are in America? How many total people in America?
Well, our engineer room, you can help us out too.
How many people are in America? How many? Type in the chat. Type in the chat.
That's according to the Census Bureau.
Type in the chat, right? And so look, we're gonna do the research for you too, because this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. So look, I'm going ahead and share this tab anyway. So when you see how many people are in America, it say the current population of the United States of America is 336,819,650 as of Wednesday, July 5th.
That sounds a little 2023.
Now, look, let's do this. Look, so since while we on here, right, we're just going to delete all that, right? We're going to say how many houses are there in America, right? Look, let's look at how many houses are there in America. 140 million as of 2020. Do you think that we built 200 million more houses in America? No, I think not. Especially during COVID and all that stuff. As of 2020, I think not.
150 million homes.
I think not. And let me hold on. Let me make sure that they can see this. Hold up. Let's go back because they couldn't see this. They couldn't see this. Let me go to the first thing I asked because y'all couldn't see this. I'll bad because we getting better with this. Look, the first question I asked was what was the population of the United States? The current population of the United States of America is 336,819,650 as of Wednesday, July the 5th, 2023. Right? Right. Now let's go ahead and delete that and let's say how many houses are in America. How many houses in America? As of 2020, it's 140 million houses. So look, we are already at a housing disparity. And this is what Vilo is talking about, find viable housing. And this is why I say housing is important, because housing is one of the three main essential things that we need to survive: food, water, shelter. Remember that.
Right.
Survival techniques: food, water, shelter. And we have way less houses than we have people.
There's a lot of ways to tackle that too, but I'm gonna let go ahead.
But you're right. But see, technically, I told you I'm 60. There's a difference. It's a gap that we have. Juveniles and senior citizens. It's a major gap in between. We can bridge the gap. That senior citizen need to spend time with the with the young ones. They just do. They need to get that history, not their grandparents.
I'm sorry, to make sure that we keep running. I'm gonna leave.
Go ahead.
No, we good. Keep running.
So in order to get this out, so that's what we had to do. That's the confusion part. You sure you can get this through? Listen, you guys got to work with us with here. Our technology is all over the place, but we got to get through this. We do. As a matter of fact, you come back on in and talk more about your show. You mind coming back in till he fix that technology? Yes. And talk more about y'all, the
youth action board.
Because I actually want to know more about it.
What's the plan?
Yeah. We need to know more about things going to Barbo. So while you're here, let's get in depth.
Yeah, so right now, actually, I guess I'll start y'all with the fun stuff first, but a part of it is we have to do networking. So what we do is we travel to other cities and we travel to other places and we meet up with their youth action boards or we meet up with other youth organizations.
Like the surrounding cities?
No, like other states. Well, yeah, surrounding cities as well, counties. Frederick County right now, we work with Frederick County, Prince George's County.
The states closely like Philly and all around Virginia. And that
recently in the past month, I've been to New York and I've been to New Orleans.
Oh, that's a heck of a stretch.
Yeah. So we moving around. We got right now we got Memphis planned out. We're supposed to be going to Memphis in August and DC to a youth convention in DC. But basically, we network and we see what's working in these other cities. We see what's working in these other places, and we share ideas. Because at the end of the day, like everything. So that's another thing with the youth action boards. Everything is also youth led. So everything is basically up to us. However much work we put in, that's what's going to get us. That's what's going to happen, basically. And
so it's basically the youth doing it all. So they gather together too.
Yeah, they've been a mouthpiece. They've been a mouthpiece, which I like that. I like that approach because when you're talking to what are potential investors, right? It's better to hear it from the actual person who's in need of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the problem is a lot of people who have the big money, right? The money that's there, they're going to actually be able to give us the grants and the $2 million, the $100,000,
moolah.
Yeah, them type of checks that had the power to actually really make a huge change in the community. They need youth experience. A lot of them never been in a situation where as though they experienced youth homelessness or they were able to experience the same
prime example.
Exactly. Yeah. So they need the testimonies. They need youth voice. Youth voice is so powerful in this world right now.
And it's their life, what they're going through. You didn't hear it from their mouth.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful. Just off of youth voice alone, they just gave B360. They just gave them a grant to open up a bike park in Baltimore City. I think it was like for $1 million, and that's just
for dirt bikes.
Yeah, for dirt bikes.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's like
and
they dealing with the youth. So it's like it's people that want to help. It's people that want to pour into the youth, but you need youth experience. You got to go to the people.
We need that so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just not just the housing, but like a way to bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? Of miscommunication. Of because a lot of older generation, like they do, we'll be stuck in our ways about how things went with us and what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's another reason why I was thinking for this relationship. You know what I'm saying? I was thankful to God because I'm raising my boys and I'm like, man, you know what? I always want to be relatable.
That's it.
To my kids, like if nothing else, I want to be relatable. Like I want to be able, because it's very different the way I had to move as opposed to what they had to do. Because for one, they have a me. If for nothing else, if your kids have a you know what I mean, that's already leveling
the benefit.
Yeah, putting a different level on a field. So I used to find myself trying to gauge how they should react to something predicated off of what my struggle was. And I'm like, hold up. that's not even your struggle, homeboy. Like you ain't really gotta be that aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Because you are in different situations where aggression don't really call for that.
But a lot of times they don't actually see it that way. But we're gonna bring our coach. No, you stay here. We don't be right. We gotta practice this seat and bring him on back in.
So,
hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Absolutely.
And hold on. We got a couple comments, man.
You gotta get to these comments.
We got a couple comments, man. I know we missing y'all. We be talking our stuff. Cousin Ella, I appreciate y'all. Look how my family turned out, though. My family support me, man. The fam come through. You fam?
Where's my family?
Y'all see the name. The fam coming through. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Cousin Ella, I
and
appreciate
again,
everybody.
y'all, thanks for working with us.
Just like cuz.
Productions will get better and better and better, and our topic's going to get sharper and sharper and sharper, and we're not holding anything back. We bringing businesses that's in Baltimore to the forefront. At the same time, we bringing up things that we don't like in Baltimore. We should be able to speak up. We don't have to run for office in order to say what we have to say. And that's another thing, too. A lot of these politicians who didn't make it in office, where are you? Mm-hmm. You know, remember all that.
Hold on, Uncle Wayne. Keep that thought. Let's acknowledge these comments. Let's acknowledge these comments. She said there's not enough affordable units and stuff like that. Of course, we went through those statistics and stuff like that. We appreciate you, because she got a couple comments. She said, now, how many empty rooms are in the current supply? We don't have bridge homes for the youth. We don't. No. A lot of the stuff that we talked on, and that's a real important topic too. They don't have bridge homes. They don't have homes for men. They don't have homes for the youth, and they only think about women and children because, I mean, they still in the 1900s or something, or 1800s. Like, it's just women with a child that needs help with housing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But whose fault is that? When you really look at it, the way the situation is, whose fault is it?
The fault has to be placed.
It's collective.
The fault has to be placed on black people as a collective.
It's collective.
And then black people, when we start to deal with the fault on how our community is, first of all, we put the fault on a man and the position that we played in the role. So we gotta acknowledge the role that we played in it.
Yeah.
But then after acknowledging the roles, we gotta understand the root and the cause of a lot of things. And see, this is why I like the Bible. See, what a lot of people don't know, and I'm saying this live on air, man. If y'all like it, share and subscribe, because I'm about to give y'all free game. I'm about to give y'all free game for real. Now listen. When you listen to the Bible, right, the first initial fall of man, and look, we coming up on time too, we can't be too long. The initial fall of man, of Adam, was listening to the woman and disobeying the Most High. There was nothing wrong with listening to Eve, his wife, but the problem is that him listening to his wife over top of what the Most High said, which was not to eat of the tree, was the root of how we fell down. And if we understand how the enemy works through our women, and it's not just through our women. You got to understand how the enemy works. Look, imagine how long Adam was in that garden and the serpent couldn't get to him.
Yeah.
So he said, look, if I can't get to you, I'm going to get the next thing to you. So look at how the enemy works. Yeah. Look at the tools and the devices of the enemy. If I can't get to you and I can't touch you, I'm going to touch somebody close to you, whether it be your mother, your aunt, your brother, sister, cousin. I'm going to touch somebody close to you. And that's what you're going to fall for. Yeah. And see, that's the hard part for us to realize, is that it be our own people. And we can't understand that. Let's look at the word again. When we look at the story of Jesus, whom they call Jesus, I like to call Yeshua. Yeah. Whom they call Jesus, I like to call Yeshua again. He was persecuted by his own people. The Romans wanted to persecute him, but they gave him a choice. They said, who do you want? Do you want Barabbas or do you want Jesus? Yeah. And they said, crucify Jesus, and chose to let Barabbas go, who was a pure criminal and was already known as a criminal, as opposed to a man who never committed sin and was taking on the sins of the world. It was only built that way. And what it was showing us is that the people that's closest to you is actually going to hurt you the most. And they are the people that can hurt you the most, because everybody else is so far at a distance that they can't touch you.
Yeah.
It's only the people in your circle that can really hurt you that deep. Because everybody else so far away, they would never have that effect.
But tell me this, bro. This is where it boils down to one word: support. The support system. Mm-hmm. Okay, like I'm reading that comment that said it's a tactic.
Hold on, hold. We gonna get to the comment for then. Yeah, this is the next comment. It says it's a tactic to split up the black family, taking the black man out of the picture. And that's
so, right. So good looking. Man, there's some solid.
The fam is in here.
I feel like I know y'all already. Where can I hang my coat up at? Well, y'all got some Kool-Aid or something. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing is this. It's always it's the tactics of the enemy, like I like to call them, is the enemy. The tactic. I believe in this. I believe there's certain principalities is what the Bible calls it, and that's entities, spirits that's made to fight certain situations. For us, it's that division, divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? So it starts with this. I'm gonna divide this man from knowing who he is. So why? How do we know we don't have our identity? Because we spend a lot of time flexing, you know what I'm saying, for lack of better words, having a dick swinging contest with your brother. I don't know if we can say that, but that's what it be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This ain't for kids.
All right, so that, and that's what you're not supposed to have. I'm supposed to be able to respectfully and humbly come to you and ask and be transparent as I'm supposed to if I need to get help. Because if you're gonna go back to wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Wisdom never had an age attached to it. You see what I'm saying? So if I feel as though, man, this man might know, he gonna know a little bit more than I know on this particular subject, I need to humble myself and ask him. Don't matter because this man 20 years old, what can he tell me? No, that is right there. That's pride. It's pride before the fall every time. You see what I'm saying? So right there, the enemy know. Okay, all right, I'm gonna maneuver that out the situation. Now on top of that, I'm gonna divide the man of knowing who his identity is when he comes in his household. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And we mistake it with, as long as I'm bringing money in here, this amount of money that makes me a man. As long as I'm doing this, I'm tearing it down in the bedroom. That makes me a man, and all that. That has nothing to do with being a man. Actually, you see what I'm saying? So then you expect your woman to fall in line with that, but she would naturally fall in line with that.
And see, that's
you know what I'm saying? Man, and then that trick was done to the kids.
That's what's so unique because
that's how your household
people think material. Our people think material is game. So this is why we sell out for Louis, Gucci, Prada. None of them is not even giving back to our community. None of them are not giving back to our communities. And we sell out for these brands, and it's like, when we look at it, I mean, how many luxury black restaurants can we go to that's 5-star and all that? How many luxury 5-star restaurants can we go to? How many of the clothing lines are owned by black people, the fancy ones? You know what I'm saying? Givenchy, Giuseppe, you name them. They don't even have black people names. If you have
banks, clothing
just
stores,
imagine.
Malls,
Just imagine
gas stations.
Just imagine in your head a black line name.
Nothing.
A black line name,
and we support the same way.
Named Keisha Johnson.
Yeah, right. And how much spending? And that's
Keisha
crazy.
Johnson sounds cheap to us,
right?
But we the people that gotta hype Keisha Johnson up. You know what I'm saying?
To make it
seem like it's Rolls Royce and Bentley.
Yeah.
Keisha Johnson got to sound like a household name,
putting generations
and be bringing bells, and that's what we doing. Listen, that's what we are doing with this podcast. We are going to uplift black business. We're gonna uplift the small businesses. We're gonna uplift the people that's in our communities, making a difference in our communities. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And it don't matter if you're in the city or the state or the town. It don't matter if you got a business and you need that thing to be marketed, you need to holler at us, because we're gonna give you that
and promote it to the fullest.
From our people to our people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're missing. That's what we're missing as a people.
So subscribe. But I gotta say something too. I was holding back.
Right.
When we go to the situation with Adam and Eve, you can go through the Bible all the way through. Regardless of the situation, what Eve did and Adam went behind, God said, I don't care what Eve did. I chose you.
He spoke to him. And he called Adam out.
Made it clear.
He was like, where are you? He didn't even address her.
Right.
He makes it clear. When I blew that breath in you, it was all that is good. Yeah.
So
you know right from wrong.
So based on that analogy, what was the fault of Adam? What did he do wrong?
2 faults he did. I read through that chapter 3 carefully.
Yeah.
It was 2 faults, and I'm gonna tell you a little side joke real quick about that situation. Right.
Okay.
So the first fault was he listened. He loved his. That's how he really loved his wife more than he loved God at that point.
Mm-hmm.
When he was supposed to put God's word first. So that right there and there, he bought the vision from that aspect. Then the second thing was when he got approached about it, he didn't take accountability as a man.
He didn't.
He blamed his wife like a sucker and said it was the woman you gave me.
The first thing was what?
The first thing was you didn't. You broke the code.
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to.
You went against the law.
You went against that. Mm-hmm. Second thing was you ain't even man up.
Exactly.
When it came down to it, the consequences might have been different.
Under the bus.
And then here go the joke. Somebody told me before, man. At the end of the day, while the serpent was whispering in his wife's ear, where was he?
Right.
Was he? You know, where was Adam during the time?
Now listen. He was busy tending to the garden, and that's the truth of the matter. Yeah. That's the truth of the matter. When we sin, when we send our people out into the world, especially our children, we gotta understand that they are outside of our control at that point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of things. That's why I do like the NAAA prayer where it say, "Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can and the courage." Yeah. The courage to change, accept whatever how I go. Accept the things that I can, the courage to change. The courage to accept the things that I can't. Basically, you gotta accept the things that you can't change, and the things that you can change. You gotta have the courage to change it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's important. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's nonetheless important because we don't have that structure or background. I think that's where Adam went wrong at in the beginning because the Most High told him something. It's like, yo, I don't give a care about your wife and all of that other stuff. And that's a true picture. It's like, yo, you controlling your family, you the head of your family. I don't give a care what your family look like and who you listen to. Like, yo, you the man in your family, you supposed to take charge. And that's how God look at it for real.
Making excuses for doing what's wrong. Yeah. There are no excuses for doing what's wrong.
Excuses are tools of incompetence.
Admit you were wrong.
To build monuments of nothing.
It's so funny too.
And those who use them usually amount to nothing at all.
You know what happened after that, though.
And excuses are tools of incompetence.
Because BMore4Real? We hitting the Bible now?
Yeah. BMore4Real, though. Yeah. Funny thing about that, if you skip past it when she had a son, she really stopped recognizing Adam as a man after that. She said when she had the baby, she said, God gave me a man. It was a baby.
She didn't have many choices.
Yeah, but in the beginning, it was a reason why. I believe
that. Well, they did have.
I had to be joking about it, but she didn't have many choices.
They did have the most important choice.
Yeah.
Which was to not eat of the tree. And that's another thing too, man. I mean, I know we coming up on time for real. We really coming up on time. And that's another thing that black people need to look at seriously, as well as everybody else around the world. You know, we black people, we're gonna focus on black content, but it don't matter who it is. We need to focus on the health aspect because when we look at it at the Garden of Eden, the first commandment that was ever given to man was to not eat of a particular tree. You can eat of every other tree. It was a dietary law.
But when y'all say tree, that's why I got to get in there a little bit.
No, it say tree, but we can decipher what the tree is. What I'm saying is
garden.
What I'm saying is the commandment that was given was that they can eat of any tree that's in the garden, except the tree that's in the midst of the garden. Now, let me tell you how important that is. The tree that's in the midst of the garden, can you imagine how that tree looked?
No, that's right.
It's the centerpiece.
It looked enticing.
It's the centerpiece.
It was
so what I'm
like
saying
the best thing ever.
What I'm saying is that we didn't listen to it at first, too. You know what I'm saying? And more importantly, what is to look at too is that there is no free will without choice. You have to have the choice to do the right thing or the wrong thing, and that choice is your test. And see, that's how we graduate people, and that's how we know that people are capable of doing certain tasks. We put them through certain tasks, and once they accomplish the task, and we say, "Yo, you capable of this." See. We can't put people through tasks that they are incompetent in.
They not,
you know what I'm saying? That's why they say excuses are tools of incompetence, because It shows your incompetence, your inability to comprehend the situation was going around you and be able to thrive in that situation. Black people got to learn how to thrive. See, what we've been doing is we've been living by a thread.
And be comfortable with your
I wouldn't even say
skill set.
living by a thread. I would say just merely existing. We have been just merely existing, and our existence is about to be wiped out. Right now, Latino people make more income than us. We already did the numbers. Me and you discussed the numbers on the total spending power. Latino people in America have more spending power than black people. Black people are now at the bottom of the bottom.
And I don't believe it's because they work. I don't believe it's because I don't believe it's because they working harder than us.
It's our fault as a people. How we represent ourselves, how we carry ourselves.
And what are we doing
This is
about
what's
it?
important.
They maneuvering as one.
Right.
That's the difference. They maneuvering as one. They didn't. I know that they hard work, and I know we always talk
Everybody
about
hard
it.
work when
But
they
I
work.
don't believe they outworking
Everybody
us.
hard work
I
when they
believe
work.
they are out. They outdoing us as far as accountability is concerned.
I'm gonna let the special guest get on. We about to wrap it up. I'm gonna let him get a couple more words in. Y'all close it out.
Hey, we're about to bring them back in.
Bring Valo back in. But look,
Hey, listen, this production is going all over ways. Just hang in there with
like,
us.
share, subscribe.
But look,
man.
we are interesting anyway, right? At least for the day we
It's
are.
lit. It's lit.
Welcome back. I appreciate you working with us, sir.
Yeah,
We done jumped you back and forth. And see, he's an old master since production since day one. But we throwing you in there and you're doing well, sir. As a matter of fact, this is what I'm saying. Have you listened to some of the things we said over there? Any questions you want to answer or any of the comments you want to rebut?
Okay, let's see what's in the
Somebody
comments.
said Eve was the second wife. Oh boy, I gotta read.
See, that's why I said, well, I knew, every time you get
That's
to
your
involved,
peoples.
you were right.
That's your
my
peoples.
They get into these.
I
into
know your
these
peoples,
depth
boy.
things.
They gonna challenge, and that's your peoples. I'm
So
telling you.
remember, we talked about
I
this. When we
appreciate
talk
it.
about the Bible, it's always
Yeah,
the
man.
64 books we go to. Black and white, straight to the point.
Yeah.
We know there's some extra things, but we're not up here. We're not preaching about. We're not preaching
Nah,
to you.
it's not
This
that.
is no denomination or any of that. It's what
It's not a
we believe.
recruitment. It's
Right.
not a recruitment. It's
We
basically
live and
speaking
breathe
from,
this stuff that we
our
talk about.
personal
We wake
thought
up with God,
process.
go to sleep with God. God is in our lives every day.
We've been talking.
Yeah.
So
We
look
about
at the
to wrap up, too.
comments
We about to
and
wrap up.
finish it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah, you can wrap it up.
I say that when it all come down to it, right? It just come down to, like I said from the beginning, it just come down to compassion. You know, we all gotta be compassionate. We gotta understand that everybody's situation ain't the same.
Yes.
We gotta understand. Once we all learn how to be forgiving to one another, then we'll better be able to learn how to love each other.
Yeah.
Once we learn how to bring love into play, then what else is there to worry about? You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
Then we are unified. Then we are already together. We moving as one. And everybody know when numbers come power.
Yes,
So if we focus
absolutely.
on that, and everybody just continue to focus on the accountability aspect. Like you said Adam didn't take accountability as a man. You get what I'm saying? So as men, we all got to take accountability for the things that we doing and the things we're not doing in our
Did
community.
you hear that? What did you hear that?
And
24
you know,
saying that, y'all.
Hey, wise beyond years.
You know, 24 saying that,
You know,
y'all.
hey, and also a difference of opinion. Just to piggyback off of compassion, like a difference of opinion. We up here, we all feel strongly about our opinion and our views, but yet, and at the same time, you know what I'm saying. We are. It doesn't mean violence. It doesn't mean we beefing. It doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying. That's what I feel like we need to kind of sharpen our skill at.
Right,
You know what I'm saying.
right.
Communicating, having difference of opinion, being compassionate, and at the same time knowing how to move as one unit. Because
love
if
each
we
other,
moving
y'all.
like one unit, you feel me? They know that as long as they keep that division between us on any level, small, whether it's you and I, man against man, old against young, you know, man against woman, you know what I'm saying? Man against his children against the, like all that dynamic plays into them staying on top. They don't care. 'Cause
yes.
now they can stand back and watch us do it to each other.
Destroy ourselves.
Hey, but
Absolutely.
hey, I ain't on camera. I ain't got no microphone. But yo, we just ran out of time for
Yeah,
real.
all right,
We
man.
ran out of time. Yo, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Yo, we gonna get better
Yeah,
with
for
this
real,
for real.
Thanks for
We don't
joining
have it all
us.
the way together, but we will. You know what I'm saying?
Be
We
more
will.
for real.
We getting it together. You feel me? Like, share, subscribe. Let's go.
Be more for real, y'all.
Let's go. For real, man.
That was what's up.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, go on. Hey, look, that, no.
Elvis.